to the representative of Russia.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all the briefers. I was particularly impressed by the presentation by Ms. Murad. Allow me to assure you that all members of the Security Council are united to say that terrorists from ISIL and Daesh must be held accountable for the evils that they have perpetrated. We have been very closely following the work of UNITAD, and we welcome the focus of the investigation team on the use of modern technologies in investigating ISIL crimes in Iraq. We pay tribute to the professionalism of the leader of UNITAD, Mr. Khan, who was able to, in 3 years, create an extremely competent team, essentially from scratch. On a national level, the methods for investigating crimes with the use of computer technologies, AI, machine learning, as well as processing masses of data, is well known, and they have proven their effectiveness. Certainly, the psychological state of victims is an important factor in a successful investigation. UNITAD is working, as we say, in the field, so they are literally at the scene of the crime. This requires active cooperation with the host government authorities and direct cooperation with witnesses and survivors, identifying proof and collecting evidence, exhumation of remains, reconstructing a whole chain of events, and identifying potential criminals. So far, while the classic methodology for investigating crimes remains in place, the conclusions of the investigation will always inspire confidence. And this is what makes UNITAD truly stand out from the numerous quasi-investigative groups and structures who have taken it upon themselves to be judge and jury. So, for example, all kinds of investigations into Syria are already record-breaking in number, and I recently spoke about this at the General Assembly. At the same time, all of these detectives are working from comfortable offices in Geneva, sometimes London, and in other cities, and they collectively copy and rehash information from all types of NGOs. And sometimes they even write the evidence themselves. An active provision of fabricated material is done by groups with direct ties to the terrorist underground. Some of them we've been able to unmask. For example, the so-called white helmets. Remember, even recently you welcomed their humanitarian work. But today it seems that these people are so dangerous that even their mentors are afraid of bringing them back home. Any evidence, whether it be collected with the use of modern technology or with the traditional methods, with a magnifying glass in the field, they need to meet the requirements of relevance and admissibility. A civilized court admits only evidence that has been acquired in full compliance with the law. The investigation into the most heinous of crimes under international law has its own particularities. Often evidence is secured during ongoing armed conflict. Access to such evidence, as a rule, is limited. So when we're talking about inquiries with an international component, then evidence is only legally significant if it is collected by an international or foreign body that is lawfully present in the given state, i.e. by people who are in the country upon the government's invitation or pursuant to a UN Security Council resolution, and those people who have the right to collect this kind of evidence. Finally, one last thing, Madam Chair. It is important to clearly differentiate between the work of professional, authorised investigators, which here is Mr. Khan's team, and then different investigations which are carried out by politicians. A political investigation, in scare quotes, is easily identifiable as they display the following characteristics. For example, statements on guilt or complicity is done immediately, even before the start of an official investigation. It says that we have all the evidence, but we won't show it to you for confidentiality reasons. Events are briefly hyped up in the media with reference to unnamed sources close to the government or the secret services. Therefore, when we talk about partnerships and innovation in investigating international crimes, we take this concept literally. And thank you to Karim Khan. You've demonstrated how we need to work. Thank you very much.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his remarks, and I now give the floor to the permanent representative of